Good morning. Good morning. Friday morning. I don't normally come in this early on a Friday, but I have got so much going on. I thought I wanted to come in and talk to you and do my question of the week because I'm going to be off for a couple of weeks. So if you're watching this later, please let me know you're here. Give me a wave. And just to let you know, I'm running a retreat. I'm running my Spanish deep nature reset rewilding retreat next week, which we actually starts on Sunday, and I am super, super excited for it. It's going to be amazing. Yeah, I just can't wait. I can't wait. We've got so much goodness lined up for the women coming. And then the following week, I am celebrating my 50th birthday. So I'm going to be off that week with my family. And so I've asked the ladies in my circle community, so my circle membership, to do a circle sister takeover in this group, in my freedom group. And if you're watching this on another platform, my freedom group is my free community, female only, where I do these live podcast episodes or questions of the week or whatever I feel like doing. So yeah, you're going to have a circle sister takeover for the next couple of weeks from Sunday onwards. And obviously you've also got Anna and Ali, who are my coaches who help me run this group if you need anything. The question or the theme this week is an interesting one, and it's a question I get asked an awful lot. Some of you may know my background is in addictions, habits of behavior, habits of thoughts. So often people come to me with drinking, a lot of thinking about drinking, a lot of thinking about their consumption of food or lack of food, or some other habit that they may not like. And there's so many, nail biting, face picking, drinking alcohol, eating food, starving, laxatives, gambling, sex, what else? Hoarding. It doesn't really matter what the habit is. And what I do a lot of work with my crew, with my tribe around those sorts of things, plus anxiety. And one of the questions I often get asked is, I've fallen off the wagon and I'm desperately upset and I don't know what to do about it. And I just want you to know that there is no wagon to fall off. There is no wagon. And you'll have heard, people say that I've fallen off the wagon, or I've had a setback. I've done my habit again. And often what happens is, and this is so common, when I do this work with people, I'm basing it at the work that I do around an understanding called the three principles. And it's an insight-based understanding, which means it comes from within. It comes from a sight from within you, change. It's much easier than you've been taught to believe. And within this understanding, I also work a lot with people around neuroscience, so plasticity, neuroplasticity, like the brain is malleable and it can change, and you can learn new things at any time in your life. But that also means you can learn to not do your habit that you don't want to do. But it comes from understanding that it is lower brain driven. So your lower brain is creating the thought to do your habit. It doesn't come from you. And the lower brain is pattern forming and habit forming. It wants automatic It wants to save energy from the lower brain. And if you want to learn more about this, I've done a series of mental health hacks in the guide section in the Freedom group. So if you're watching this in the Freedom group, go to the guide section, go to mental health hacks, and there's a series of videos where I explain this in more depth, the neuroscience of a habit. Now, when I work with people, often they'll have a period of time, they'll see something around their innate health, they'll see something around their brilliance, they'll see something around their habit, they'll see the wisdom in themselves. I know their habit is a sign of their mental health. It's a sign that your brain is working perfectly because it wants you to keep doing the habit. The lower brain is irrational. All it knows is that you've survived thus far. And often when we're doing our habit, it's because there's been a settling down, like out of our thinking mind. And so in the instance of, oh, I've done my habit again, all that says to me is that you got into your thinking mind again and your lower brain created the thought, and you just went with it in a moment and did the habit. Now, what causes the suffering around this is your thinking and judgment about the fact that you went and did your habit again. So it's that constant narrative, that shitty committee in your head, which is telling you, you're no good. It's telling you that this was never going to work for you. It's telling you that you're broken. It's telling you that there's something else you need to do, that this was never going to work, etc. It buys in to your evidence. So this is the forward feedback loop. Your brain or your narrative, your psyche is telling you you're shit, you're broken, it's hopeless, nothing will ever work for you, etc., etc. Like you'll have your own unique flavor of that, the narrative that's in your head. So when we go back into a habit, rather than seeing like, oh my goodness, that's interesting, I went to do my habit again, that was a sign that I was obviously in my head. What we tend to do is slag ourselves off. Oh, thank you, Emily. That's really kind of you to say that. I'm really pleased. Good, thank you. So for those of you that are listening back who don't know what happened, one of the ladies in my group has just said, this is so interesting and you explain this so well. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. All it essentially means is you've just, in one moment, you've gone with your lower brain's creation of the thought to do your habit. And then usually the next day, or maybe, half an hour or whatever later, you buy into the narrative that you're shit. And thus that carries on. And of course, that creates more sadness, more constriction, more heaviness. And of course, then the lower brain creates the thought to do the habit again. And it's like a loop. It's like a loop. And so lots of women will say to me, I feel like I'm in Groundhog Day, or I know what I need to do. I just don't know why I can't do it. And it's because of this piece. It's because of the fact we are following a thought created by the lower brain to do our habit. And it's been created because we're usually in heavy thinking. So it's created that because it knows there's been a settling down. So it's always coming from wisdom. It's like a protector part. And so for me, it was always about biting my nails or picking my face or over-exercising or under-eating, overeating. I did both. Drinking alcohol, like whatever it was that I could see to do, was coming from a place in me that knew that settled my mind, but that was the consciousness that my brain was in at that time. It's no longer in that consciousness because I've learned about human beings. I've learned what makes us unique and perfect and whole and special. And there's nothing that I can ever do that will take that away from me. It doesn't matter if I run out of here this morning and run up to the off license and get 5 bottles of gin and drink it. That will not matter. I hope I won't do that. But if I did, it wouldn't matter unless I make it matter. And when I make it matter and I think, oh, you idiot, oh, you did it again, oh, I knew there was something wrong with you, I go down a slippery slope of not realizing that it was a moment in time that is now in the past. And if I keep rehashing that, I keep it alive. And there is no wagon to fall off. There is no setback that can ever take you away from your own innate mental well-being. The only thing that takes us away from that is our belief system. And our beliefs are thoughts that we've believed over and over and over again. So they feel concrete. They feel like this is who I am and this is not who you are. Those thoughts are not who you are. Those thoughts move through you always. They don't mean anything and they are not you. In the same way that the blood is not of the heart, it goes through the heart. My breath in and out, I am not my breath. My breath goes in and out and through my lungs. Same as my thinking. My thoughts go in and out. I am not my thoughts. It just so happens that because we have a brain that is a machine, if we keep believing certain thoughts, that becomes our reality until you know you are not your thinking. So please, if you've had a setback, in your words, if you think you've fallen off the wagon, please hear this. There is no wagon to fall off. You are innately mentally well and you have a brain that's working perfectly. It's been trying to keep you safe for all this time. You just haven't known that you're not broken. You just haven't known that. So I want to say thank you if you've been listening. Thank you for listening. Thank you if you're listening later. I've got a work call shortly, so I'm going to go, and then I'm flying off to Spain on Sunday morning with my tribe of women who are coming on the deep nature retreat, and then I'm off for a week. So I hope you have a wonderful couple of weeks, and I'll see you very soon. Have a great day. Ciao.